The Severn Bridge, one of the most amazing bridges built in the UK, and it's a great way to get from England to Wales, my homeland. In sales, there's a key need for us always to move our prospects from where they are now to the promised land of delivering our solution and buying our service. And there's a term that I use in sales called bridging, which is really important if you're to get great results on a consistent basis. In this video, I'm going to share with you a few tips and ideas on how you can bridge across to the promised land that you offer your clients and prospects and make sure you win more business and close more deals. My name's James White, I'm the UK's leading prospect conversion expert. Let's take a look at the video and see how you can make bridging work for you. So the first thing about bridging, it's really important when it comes to sales, is making sure you can do it at the right time in the conversation. I've shared lots of videos and examples of how so essential that you get to know your prospect, who they are and what's driving them before you even attempt to move them to the other side, which is basically showing them your product or service or even talking about it. Many prospects feel too threatened if they're pushed too early into that part of the process. And so the key thing for you is to make sure you're in the right time to bring them to the bridge in the first place. Much of your marketing and the way you engage with prospects should all be about the problems you solve, the outcomes you give, what you can enable them to do. And your marketing should be showcasing what's on the other side, in this case, the wonderful country of Wales. But the reality is your prospects aren't at this point yet. They're not quite at the point where they need to move across the bridge. And so we've got to do a bit of work further down the path that way in order to be able to get them to this point. Be careful about bringing them to the bridge too early. Be careful about trying to push them to do some things, especially as we get towards the end of the year before they're ready. The most important thing is get to know the prospect, what's emotionally driving them, what's making them feel that they want to consider you and your service, and be in a position where you really understand their emotional factors towards the buying process. Do this and they're going to be keen to understand what it is that you offer, what it is that's the other side of the bridge, and it's going to put you in a great position to help them move across it. The second thing about bridging is we've got to show our prospects why they want to move to the other side. In the case here, why would you want to go to Wales? Brilliant country. It's the birthplace where I was born. Just a great lifestyle. So many people love being in Wales. They used to even make you have to pay to get into Wales a few weeks ago, but they've changed that. But the point is, there's loads of reasons to go to Wales, and in the same way, your prospects have got to have lots of reasons to want to move across the bridge. And you've got to be able to share those reasons with them. You've got to be able to paint the outcomes. You've got to be able to showcase what it's going to look like when they have that solution in place. Or you maybe got to use phrases like, our clients that are working with us now are thrilled at the impact we're having with X, Y, and Z. We're enabling them to do this, this, and this as a result of working with us. Or as a result of deploying our solution, we've saved X amount of time or X amount of money for our clients. And the impact of that is helping them do this, this, and this. You've got to be able to paint a picture as to why your prospects are going to want to move across to the bridge. Why they're going to gain value from making that journey. And that's key when it comes to your business, to be able to make sure what you promise over there is what you deliver. Showcase what it is that you offer the other side, and why they should make that journey, and how it's going to impact them, and they're going to be more keen to make that walk with you. So I use the term bridging when it comes to sales as a method for you to move your prospect from the position they are now into the potential of the future. And as I've mentioned, if you've understood them, you can do that. Use some phrases such as, it's really interesting to hear about some of the challenges that you face in this area. Would you be interested if I was to show you some examples of other people similar to yourself that have dealt with that? Or, I appreciate you'd like to get that issue resolved, Paul. One of the things that's really interesting is I've worked with a number of people like yourself who have been able to make that transition from where they are now to the next stage. Would you be interested in me sharing some stories around how they've done that and show you how that could be achieved for you and your business? What I've done in that situation there is I've bridged. I've moved the prospect from the position they are now, which is in their world with their problems and their issues and their wants, through to my solution on the other side. And I've done that in a way, if I've understood them properly, their response should be, yes, I'd love to see that, or sure, show me some examples of that, or yes, I'd love to understand what that looks like. What they're saying to you there is, yes, you've understood me, you've understood my challenges, and I'm really keen to see what it looks like over the other side. I want to see who's made that trek across the bridge before me, so if they've done it, I know I can do it. Your prospects don't buy from you because where they are now and that position over there, which is where you want to get them to, they can't see that change. They can't picture themselves being on that side of the bridge. And our job as sales and business people is to move them and walk with them and hold their hand and take them over to the other side so they feel comfortable and can see the promised land. Use the right phrases once you've understood your prospect, such as, would it be of interest to show you some examples of how we've made that happen? Or how would it feel for you to see a solution that could solve that problem? Use phrases such as that once you've understood the prospect to bridge to your solution. And what you can then start to do is, if you focus on the outcomes and the good things they get from the other side, the problems you solve and how you deal with the wants they have, it's going to help the prospect want to make that journey. And when they want to start walking across the bridge and walk with you to the promised land, it's so much easier to then be in a position to try and sell to them and move things forward. Work on how you can move them across once you've understood the prospect, bridge from this side to the promised land, the other side. Do that, they'll walk with you, and when you get them that side and they can see the impact it's going to have, the sale's going to be yours. In this case here, this telescope is enabling me to see over to the other side in Wales. But sometimes with our prospects, we've got to get our own telescope out and bring the other side closer to them so they can see what it can look like. Great ways of doing that are case studies, testimonials, evidence of what it looks like to be at the other side. And your job as a salesperson and business person is to bring the microscope or the telescope through to your prospects so that they can see what it's going to look like to get the other side. If I was to look over to Wales now and I can't see, I might have some doubts, I might have some worries. Use the telescope. It may have looked a long way, but with this we bring it closer, we make it real, we make it stand out and be something they can do and they can achieve. And the position that they're in now, we give them that belief and trust that actually if they do make that walk across the bridge, they're going to get the results that you've promised and that they desperately want. Our job as salespeople is to solve problems and solve wants. And in real terms, that means we've got to make sure that when they get the other side, they feel great and it's as good as you said it is. But to do that, we've got to get them to build the bridge and make that bridge happen. And we do that by bringing things closer than what they previously would have seen for the prospect. Bring it to life, show them it's real, bring evidence, bring it closer together. And if you do that, it's going to help them make the walk and you get closer to confirming that new bit of business. So when we've got our prospects to really see what it looks like over the other side, and we've brought things closer to them, the next stage is to get them to make that walk across the bridge. For any person, when they're making that buying process, that first step for them to make that step across the bridge is really key. It's a step of intent. It's a major thing for them to do. And our job as salespeople is to make sure we walk with them across that bridge. Just imagine the situation of saying to them, the promised land's the other side, feel free, go and find it. Chances are they may go there if their problem's big enough or if they've got a big enough one. But invariably they may get to the bottom of the bridge and think, or even just to the start and think, oh no, do I really want to do this? Is this going to be as good as I thought? Maybe it's not going to give me the impact I want. And our job as sales and business people is to hold their hand, walk with them over the bridge, show them, bring that together, walk with them, even if you have to carry them across the bridge. The reality is we've got to walk that journey with them. Don't expect them to do it on their own. Show them and say, I'm going to give you some evidence here of how we've made that happen, and let me talk you through that, whilst at the same time making that those elements there suit your needs. Make sure at every point in that sales conversation, you're referring back and saying, here's what we've got here. How would that fit with you in this situation? Or we're at this stage here. How could that work for you? How could we make that appear and get the same results for you? That bridge, holding their hands, working with them is essential. And if you do it well, you're going to get great business in time and time again. And that bridge, which looks big now, can get shorter and shorter as we make more and more of your prospects turn into customers and get brilliant results from the service that you offer. So the final point about bridging is this. Over the other side is Wales. It's where I was born. It's a great country. I love it. And you were here with me saying, oh, I'm not sure if I should go to Wales. I'd show you and give you the impact of what it's going to mean to go there, providing you obviously wanted to go there, and I'd take you the other side. And hopefully you get there and see it's the greatest country as I've said it is. The key thing in your prospects though, is you've got to make sure when they get to the other side that what you've promised is as good as what they see when they get there. So the key thing is making sure that the promises we offer this side get delivered when we get to the other side. If you get a prospect through the other side and even to the stage where they sign and commit with you, and then you don't deliver on the promises you make, I can assure you it's going to hurt your business reputation, it's going to hurt you in the pocket, and it's going to make other prospects think twice about making that journey with you. Don't overpromise. UPOD, Mike Michalowicz always said this is a great thing to use. Underpromise, overdeliver. And if you underpromise, make it seem that it's great, but don't overpromise, and then overdeliver when you get the other side. Your prospect or your new customer is going to be thrilled at making that move with you, and they're going to then tell others, family, friends, whoever else that they're working with, that you're someone they should trust and that they should also go on that journey with you. So the key thing in sales is this: when we're one side and our goal is to get our prospect to the other, we've got to take the right action. We've got to help them move across that bridge and go from where they are now to that promised place that's going to give them an end to their problems or solve the wants that they've got. So I hope that video is useful for you and give you an indication of what you need to do to bridge the gap between where your prospect is now and the promised land, the other side of the bridge. If you do that effectively, bridging is a great way in which to do a natural way to move the prospect through your sales process to becoming a customer. It's a natural process that they'll want to do for themselves. They're going to want to walk across that bridge with you if you do sales in the right way, by getting to understand them, knowing what's going on in their world, and knowing that the actual promised land the other side can deliver on what they want and what their issue is. My name is James White. I'm the UK's leading prospect conversion expert and a man who loves helping great service businesses that are growing and want to get bigger and better do more bridging, do more sales work that helps make more prospects go from here to the other side. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed and it's given you some insights and tips on what you can do to get better results. If you love the video, please comment in the section below and let me know how bridging has worked for you. Please subscribe, click on this button here and subscribe to the channel, or share it with family, colleagues, friends, other people that you can help get great results as well. And if you have any questions or comments around what you can do to get better sales, let me know. I'd love to help you. Thanks for watching, and I can't wait to share another video with you really soon. Hopefully, the other side of the bridge in the wonderful Wales.